Hi everyone, welcome back to Earl Grey Books. I'm Ellie. I'm here today to start my vlog for the month of March. Today is the 1st of March. Haven't finished anything yet. Just wanted, just in the mood to start this. So here we are. That's what we're doing. And I have started a few things and I've already put together my little section here. This is, I think, about half of what I want to read this month. Some of them are reasonably small, and plus these that I'm just about to tell you about, so it's not too bad. And a few of them are for vlogs down here and tour.com-a-thon and all of that good stuff. But super quick intro to let you know what I'm starting the month off with and my plans and all that good stuff. March is an exciting month for me. The very beginning of March is. I'm not going to talk too much about that right now. I will talk about it in a couple of days. So I just, wanted to come on very quickly and say that I have started 2 books. I started one last night and one this morning. It's like coming up to 11, I think. And yes, here we are. So last night I started Guest House for Young Widows by Asdia Moaveni. I just read the kind of introduction section, which is about 12 pages long. I wanted to start this one because I had a feeling it would take me a really long time to read, and I would like to try and finish it in this month. It was probably a bad idea starting it last night because I feel like some of it just it was too tired and I probably needed to be focusing more than I was. So I may do like a quick skim over what I have read in those 12 pages just before I move on. But so far it's interesting. So yeah, I don't know, the chapters look reasonably short, so maybe it will be quicker to read than I think. But more on that soon. And then this morning I started off The Detective's Guide to Ocean Travel by Nikki Greenberg. This is a very different vibe. This is a middle grade taking place on an ocean liner, and obviously there's some kind of mystery to it. I think it's like missing jewels. I read the first 34 pages and yes, we're gonna just continue on with that. I thought this one would be a good one to start the month off with because it's a middle grade, it's nice and easy, and it should be a reasonably quick read. So at least I feel like in a day or two I can at least mark off something that I've read, especially because I do have, maybe not so much in this section, but I do have some very chunky books this month. Like I have the 3 Cassandra Clares, I have Ninth House and Hellbent, and I have 2 of the Percy Jackson Heroes of Olympus books. So I've kind of started this month with some of the shorter ones and we'll see how that goes. So yeah, I just thought this would be a good one to start with. But I also think today that I want to start off Heart of Iron by Beck McMaster because I'm super excited about this one, and I've been holding off until March to pick it up, and now I'm just like, I want to read this. I don't want to wait anymore. So we'll see how we go with that, but I'll be back in a couple of days. I think maybe Sunday to let you know if I've read anything. Basically, when I have things to talk to you about, I'll be back. So I'll see you all soon. Okay, hello my friends. Welcome to an area of my house that you have never seen before. This is my kitchen / laundry. I'm in here because it's Wednesday. I spent like 2 hours fucking around, doing stuff for work and other stuff, and now I have like literally 20 minutes, 25 minutes until I'm meant to be on sprints for Ko-Fi. So I'm making myself a very nutritious dinner of a feta bagel. I A, don't have time, but also B, just not really feeling like a proper dinner. This is probably super loud. I'm sorry for that. And yes, this is just don't really feel like doing anything proper. I was gonna half-ass dinner tonight anyway. But yeah, I'm here to update you on things. And we're gonna go about we're gonna go about doing things while I update you. This is gonna be, god damn it, didn't cut it enough. This is gonna be a very choppy clip because it's gonna be in between me doing a lot of stuff, including absolutely don't even know what I'm trying to say. Yes, reading things have been done. It's Wednesday night, and I am now officially on a week-long break from work for medical stuff. I'm gonna stand over here and make a cuppa, and this is probably really fucking stupid. It's fun. Yes, for medical reasons. That's always fun. And I had filmed this clip yesterday, and then my opinion on one of the books changed so drastically that I thought I should probably refilm it. And it was also it was even more, no, it was slightly less chaotic than this, but when I planned to update this video, I didn't think, like, I thought I would have more time and that it wouldn't be chaotic, and yet here we are in my kitchen. Now we're going to take a quick break while I toast my bagel and go and put my cup of tea down, and then we will probably move back into the living room and we will talk about books. Cool. Okay, we're back here. Food is made, tea is made, injection, insulin has been given. This is one of my last times doing this consistently. I start an insulin pump tomorrow. I've been using this method of pen and needles for 14 years, so that is a big step. Dinner here. I'm going to chat briefly in between taking bites because I now have literally 15 minutes to go. So I have finished off one book so far in March, which is The Detective's Guide to Ocean Travel. This was alright. It was okay. It was fun. There are a couple of things that I was just like meh about. It's one of those weird kind of middle grades that feels weirdly mature in places and like middle grady in others. The main character is like 13 and I don't know, it just had a little bit of that. There's some kind of like intense stuff that happens. This is a like jewels thief that happens on an ocean liner in like 1920. I'm probably gonna absolutely hate myself when I have to edit this, but it was alright. I don't really know what else to say about it. I give it 3 stars. It was fun, but it didn't blow me away. Yes, I have started so many books. Last time I spoke to you, I had started Guest House for Young Widows. I'm now 34 pages into that, and I found the actual section of the actual like proper book a lot easier. I was so worried by the intro because I just wasn't, it really throws you into it, and I didn't know what was happening for a lot of it. So enjoying this more. Kind of, it's a hard book, you know. I started another non-fiction, Forgotten Women, The Leaders. This is like a fun little, almost like a Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls, but for adults. Like it's the little story about the person, about the woman, and an illustration by different artists. That is Brunhilde of Austrasia. This is Catherine de Medici. Pretty cool. Really enjoying this actually. I wasn't sure that I would. Picked it up because I was like, hey, it's Women's History Month this month. That seems like a good reason to pick up some books about women. And I have a couple others back here that I'm hoping I can pick up. I've still been reading Heart of Iron. I'm 66 pages into this one. I was super excited about this one and I am really enjoying it, but I kind of thought that I'd read it like all in one go. I've actually been finding that I just want to read it slowly. I want to savor it, even though I have the next 3 books in the series and that's the end of the series. I just want to kind of have fun and read it and not rush through it. So been really enjoying that. I started a lot like Adios by Alexis Daria, which was part of my May. Nope. What month is it? It's March. Part of my March haul revisit. I am 82 pages into this one. It's okay. I'm kind of not loving it because I also picked up Fumbled by Lizzie Stone and I was really enjoying these, both of them, until I kind of realized that they're very similar. They're both second chance romances about like the guy made like some kind of stupid decision when they were teenagers and the girl ended up getting hurt and now they've been reunited by a work situation. So in this one, so in Fumbled, he is a football player, an American football player, and she is a journalist who often covers his team. And in this one, he owns a gym and she works in like, okay, Percy. She works in like marketing and she's like helping set up this new, hey, boys, this is not the time. We're on a deadline here. I mean, they say to never work with animals or children, don't they? Yeah, so she's helping him set up this new gym in New York and all of his others are in LA. And it's just like the vibes are very similar. So I feel like I'd be enjoying these more if I was not reading the same thing. But I think I'm going to continue with a lot like Adios, and I think I'm just going to stop with Fumbled because it also did one of my least favorite things, which is when I see this a lot in contemporary romances in which there are 2 characters that meet and they're not usually the romantic leads, they're just like a friend, like a platonic friendship or something like that, and they meet in a very contrived way that kind of doesn't, it's one of those things where it's like, why is this part of the story? Like, you didn't have to meet like that. You could have met in a normal way. And then in this one, it turns out the person she met in this contrived wave is the guy's cousin. And I'm just, I hate when that happens. It's one of those things I just don't like. So that's that. I don't even know what I'm going to read tonight. I haven't decided. I don't know. It is International Women's Day, so maybe I will read some more of this. And I think I might just read something on my Kindle. I don't know. We'll see how long the sprints go for, and all that. So now that, what? Now they're both starting. Okay, I'm gonna see you next week and I'll tell you about stuff then. Okay. Hello, I am back. It's Wednesday. I have had my week off. I have quite a bit to update you about. I didn't read as much as I was anticipating, but I still have a lot of things to tell you about. Obviously, my things have been moved around. I put this bookshelf here. This used to just be my romance shelf and is now this. So this shelves, these two here are my sort of TBR for the month. They're what I am anticipating to read or need to read, things that I may start during the month and all that, so that I can keep track of the things that I said I would read and the things that I need to. And the shelf here that you can see is all of my friend picks that I physically have. So those will obviously move around as I read them and as those videos go out. And then romance is below all of that. And I've got some D&D books up here and all sorts of things. So I think this will be moved around a little bit. Obviously that top shelf will, but I am still kind of organizing things and we'll see how that goes. So that happened. My partner and I did that on Saturday. We changed around basically my entire living room. So I will possibly show you some of those things either later this month or in April. I have a couple more things that I am just fixing up. And I don't think I'm going to do like a bookshelf tour, but I will do some other stuff. So that all happened. And then on last Thursday, I did get my little pump. This is mine. It's pretty small and they gave me this horrendously lime green silicone cover with a clip on it so I can clip it places. And then yes, this is currently attached to my stomach and that gets changed around every 3 days. And I've done a couple of changes since, and there's been some issues. We had a bit of there's been some teething problems. The actual pump itself is doing really well in terms of my blood sugars. They're looking like so much better. And I was sort of warned that it would take a while, but it's made such a difference already that even my medical team are like, wow, we were not expecting that. So there's that. And yeah, things have been going well. My partner has stayed with me for the last week to watch out and make sure that I was all good, and I also had my best friend Angel come and stay for a couple of days as well, so that I was basically being, what's the word I'm looking for? Monitored. Closely monitored. And yeah, we did quite a bit of stuff. My partner and I just had a lot of stuff that we'd been unable to do that we marked off during this time. So that was good, but we didn't get a lot of time to read, and we also probably did way more than we should have. We should have relaxed more, but sometimes it's like that, isn't it? So I have finished 4 books since I spoke to you last. Let's get into them, and then I have a lot of things to tell you about that I've started and in various states of reading. So first up, last Wednesday night I finished up Forgotten Women, The Leaders. I finished this on Ko-Fi Sprints and I had a good time reading this. It was nice and quick, honestly. It was maybe took me like an hour and a half all up, and it was nice. I had a good time reading it, and the art in here It's beautiful. I've said that, like, look at that one. It's gorgeous. And there's Catherine de Medici. And it was really interesting. I love these kinds of books that talk about, sort of do like a brief bio and then there's like a different artist for each person. I love those. So there's that. Had a good time. Then next, took me a few days to really pick anything up, but I then picked up All Systems Red by Martha Wells, which is the first book in the Murderbot series. This was part of my Tor.com-a-thon TBR. This is the only one I've gotten to so far. I only have 3 others, 2 from the library and 1 as an ebook. I don't know if I'll get through all of them. Probably the library ones, less so the ebook one. I didn't love this. I know that it is a well-beloved series. I didn't hate it. It was good, but I just wasn't blown away by it. I felt a little bit lost in it, because it really does drop you into things, and I kept feeling like I was missing something, like I'd missed like a whole first book of it, but like I checked multiple times that this was the first one, because I was like, I just feel like there's so much setup that just doesn't happen, and you do learn that kind of stuff as you go along, but for the first little while I was very confused. So yeah, I did enjoy it. I just didn't completely love it. I might continue the series. I'm highly considering it. Also probably just as books from the library. But I really liked the found family aspect. That was really cool, and that's all I really have to say about that one. Next one is, I read one for Babe, and this was entered in the Alien Bride Lottery by Margot Bon Collins. This is the first book in a Kanavani, maybe, Warrior Bride Games series. This was a lot of fun. I picked this one up off KU, and yeah, I've just been reading through the authors for Babe, and I ordered this whole series. Luckily it comes in bind-ups because it's like a 12-book series, but it was just so much fun. I was like laughing hysterically at it, and it was just a lot of fun, and it felt good to read something that like that. I don't often read a lot of sort of like humorous books, but it was a good time. It was a good time. And then finally, Monday, I think, I finished A Most Novel Revenge by Ashley Weaver. This is book 3 in the Amory Amos mystery series. This is like a cozy historical mystery set. I think it's set maybe like somewhere in the 20s. I don't know. I can't remember what the period is, whether it's like early, mid, or late, but it's 20s. I've really been enjoying this series. I read the last one I think in January, and then I'd just been waiting on my library hold of this one to come through, and again, had a great time reading this. It's fun. I really like the main character, and it sort of has that, I don't know, I get a little bit of kind of like Marple feels from it, where it's, you know, it's fun. It's fun, it's a little dramatic, and I just really enjoy it. So there's those. So that was 4 over the last kind of week, which I know actually is quite a bit. But I was just kind of anticipating reading a bit more than I did. Those were all relatively short books, and I just thought that I'd kind of mark a few more off, like bigger books. But I really was just struggling to get into things. I have so many books on the go, and I have a couple that I'm going to talk to you about now that I would define myself as actively reading. Some of these I read a bit of, but just didn't get into it enough, or I'm holding off for reasons. And yes, so I want to very quickly talk about these two because these are from different vlogs, but I just want to mention that these are things that are being read at the moment. So I have Chocolat by Joan Harris, which is in my Mel vlog. I'll link that one below. It should already be there. It should already be up, is what I meant to say, because otherwise I've messed up real bad. I'm working on this, trying to get this done by early next week at this stage. I'm also just about to start The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. This is part of my April Fool's video. That should also be up at this point, so I'll link that below as well. But those are definitely two things that are taking a good amount of time from reading other things at the moment. And then I have like 4 things that I'm kind of actively working on to some capacity. Where should I start? Let's start here. So the other day I did finally get around to starting Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. This is a reread for me because I never read book 2, and now book 3 is out and I would like to read them all. I don't know, originally my plan was to do this all this month, but I don't think that's gonna happen at this stage. So instead I think that I will probably end up trying to read this one and maybe book 2 by the end of the month, and then read book 3 in April, but we'll see how that goes. I am 90 pages in. I am absolutely loving it, which I did the first time, so that's not really a surprise. Yeah, I don't know, I'm just kind of taking my time with this because it is such a big book, and yeah, it's nice to be back in with the Shadowhunters though. So there's that one. Okay, let's talk about this one. You will have just seen this in my March haul, but over the weekend I bought I Have Some Questions for You by Rebecca McKay, which is one of my most anticipated releases of this year. Rebecca McKay's last book, The Great Believers, is one of my top 3 favourite books of all time. So very excited for this. This is her only release since. And I did start it. I read the first 24 pages and I already feel like this is quite possibly going to be in the running to be my favourite book of the year. I know it's only March. That's a big thing to say, having only read 24 pages, but I'm just already kind of getting the feels. So very much looking forward to that. Just haven't had the time to read this really. I've been trying to focus on other things. So I think this I probably will pick up some point over this coming weekend and read a little bit more through it. But I also just picked up The Mistwick School of Music Craft by Jessica Khoury. So this one I did try a chapter middle grade version, which I just filmed this morning. So you'll have already seen that, and this was the one that I ended up picking. I read the first 12 pages in that little test. I haven't had time to read any more since I filmed that this morning, but once I have finished, I think I'm gonna do lunch and then I have a bit of studying to do, which I've been doing this morning. So So I think between lunch and studying, I might try and read a little bit of this again. And then finally on my Kindle right now, I have Demon King by Elizabeth Briggs. This is the first book in the Claimed by Lucifer series. This is another author for Babe, and this is the current one that I am trying. I've read a few over the weekend that I either decided to just not read, or ones that I read a bit of and was like, yeah, okay, I want to order this author. So I have done that, and I'm not really going to talk about them because I'll talk about them when I have the books in June and all that. But how far into this am I? I started this one last night, so I'm 10% in so far, and like I said, I'm really enjoying it. So that's going to be my train read for the next few days, and I imagine that I will probably be done by early next week, if it even takes me that long. But obviously this has been a super long update because I've just had so much to talk about. So I'm going to leave it here, and I will see you all in a couple of days' time. I think it will probably be early next week, unless I somehow manage to read all of the things. But I doubt it. So I'll see you in a few days, hopefully with a couple of things finished. Okay, hello. I literally can't remember the last time I updated this vlog. Apologies if you can hear the dog barking or any other noises. It was quiet until I started filming. But today is Sunday the 26th. I'm here to tell you about stuff. I haven't been reading a lot. I have been reading stuff for Mel's vlog. That went up. That's all fine. It's done. And I have finished 2 other books since. And yeah, let's talk about things. Now we're gonna have crying babies. Cool. Anyway, the books that I finished was just Portrait of an Unknown Lady by Maria Ganza, which is a literary fiction about like a art forger, kind of. Very literary in that not a whole lot happens. This was part of my March haul revisit. I had 3 on the list, and this is the only one I finished. Which, considering the other 2, I don't know. This was short. It was short, and it has reasonably large writing. This was alright. I gave it, I think, a 3 or a 3.5. I didn't completely hate it. I learned some kind of interesting things. This is translated from Spanish. It's set in Buenos Aires. Don't know what happened to my voice then. And it was, there was some interesting things about like Argentinian artists and the sort of like art world there that was really cool. And yes, apologies also if you can hear a weird fan in the background. My laptop is trying to export a video and it's not having a good time. But anyway, read that. And then the other one I read was Every Heart a Doorway by Shauna Maguire, the first book in the Wayward children's series. So I read this as part of Tor.com-a-thon. I read a Martha Wells earlier, which I talked about I think in the last clip, which I didn't super love. This one I did. This I really enjoyed. And this is the one that I really was quite nervous about because I've read Shauna Maguire in the past and I really didn't like Rosemary and Rue. It was terrible. I hated it. But I absolutely loved this one. It's creepy as all get out, but it was kind of fun. I don't know, it has a really interesting kind of discourse around it. This would be such a cool book to read for a book club. I just feel like there's so much that you could talk about. So I returned that one to the library, and I've borrowed, or I've put a hold on, not the next one. This is one of those series you don't have to read in order. And the second one just didn't really interest me. I don't really care about the characters it follows. We did meet them in the first one, and I was just like, I don't really want to read about those people. Just not interested. So I put a hold on book 3, and I think I'm a little bit down the list, like 3rd or something. But that's fine, because I probably don't really have time to read it right now anyway. Okay, so that's that. I didn't do a whole lot of other reading. It's just been a busy week. I have very slowly been working on Chain of Iron. I'm now 320 pages in. I feel like I have been reading this for years. It's a reread for me. I'm still really enjoying it, but I'm enjoying taking it slowly. And also, it's just such a heavy book that it like physically hurts me to hold it sometimes. And like I'm starting to get a bit of a crack in the spine and stuff because it's so big that you just have to open it to like a certain amount so that you can actually read it. Yeah, so still enjoying this, hoping to finish this by the end of the month in order to catch up with my reading goal. I need to finish 3 books. So this is one of the ones I'd really like to finish. I think I have about 200 and something pages to go. About that. 230 maybe. Anyway, hoping to get that done. And then might work on book 2 in April. We'll see. But the other 2 that I have selected that I'm thinking I will try and finish as well, I have The Mistwick School of Music Craft by Jessica Curry, which I really thought that this would take me like one afternoon to read, but then I put it down and I just didn't have time to pick it back up. So I'm reading more of it. I am 200 pages in at this point, and I just have like a tiny bit left to go. I'm going to finish this afternoon, I think, or this evening. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. It has some beautiful illustrations in there. Let me show you one. Just every now and again, and it has like a full page, and it's really interesting. We'll talk more about it when I finish it. And then the other one, you will have seen by now in my haul that I picked up a bunch of Nalini Singh's, and almost to the point to the book that I was up to. And I have this one left. This is Hostage to Pleasure. So this one I borrowed 3 of them off Angel, and this was the first one. So it's like the 5th or 6th book in the series, I can't remember. But I got the other 2 that I'd borrowed from her and the next 2 in the series then, which was literally yesterday. So I want to read this one and be able to give the 3 back to her, and then I can continue the series with the books that I've bought. So looking forward to that. And I did start it a while ago, so I read like 56 pages. And I can pretty much remember what's happened there, so I'll probably just try and zoom through this. And yeah, so that's happened. Yesterday we went to a book festival. I took a bunch of footage of that. I guess I'll insert that after here. So yeah, I went up with Alex and we had a good time. We didn't stay at the festival very long, to be quite honest with you. We had, before I hit the jackpot with those Nalini Singhs, we were really having a hard time finding anything. I think Alex ended up with like 3 books. And like last year, we ended up with like, I don't know, like 15 each or something. So it was just a bit of a disappointing year, but we had, yeah, we just had a good time otherwise. And that's it. We'll see how this week goes, and hopefully I can finish these 3, maybe something else. I feel like these 3 are all just like sit down and read them and I'll be totally fine. So maybe I will even have something else kind of lined up at the back for it. Yeah, I don't know. That's all I have to say. I will catch you all. I think it'll probably just be on like the 1st of April, and I can let you know how I went with all of my reading, hopefully 3 of them, and I'll see you all then. So it is now past March. It's now past March. It's April. It's April 2nd, and I'm jumping on to let you know that I finished off the 3 books that I needed to make my reading goal, staying up to date with that for March. So we're just going to very quickly talk about the 3. One of them I did a whole video on, so I'll just direct you to that. And then, yeah, I'm going to jump in and start my April vlog pretty much straight away. But the night that I filmed my last clip, I did finish off The Mystic School of Music Craft by Jessica Corey. This was a really cute, fun middle grade. Had a very good time reading it. Loved the magical elements tied in with music. That was really cool. And I loved it. While I was reading this, I was like, I don't know what it is about middle grade books in which the young female protagonists have lost their mum that just work for me. It was cute, but it was also sort of serious enough that, you know, it had a plot line, it had a point, the characters were really fun, and this is the first in a series, so hopefully I can find the second book somewhere. I know I had a bit of trouble getting this one, but I think it's worth it. And then I did also finish Chain of Gold, which feels like it took me the entire month. I don't actually remember when I started reading this, but I guess while I'm editing I will find out. Still really enjoyed it, and I did enjoy taking it slower. It's amazing how much of this I'd forgotten. The last time I read this was in 2020 when it came out, so it's been a while, but I enjoyed myself. And yes, we'll talk more about my plans with book 2 in April. And then finally, the other one I did finish was The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I did a whole vlog reading this as part of a collab, so I'm just gonna link you to that rather than talking about this too much, and you can find out everything in there. I also got a little bit of a jump start on my April reading towards the end of the month, which is always nice. So I will talk all about that in my April vlog. This will be a half-month vlog because of Eurovision-a-thon, but I'll see you all then. Hope you're all doing super well. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.